Hey everyone, before we get started with this week's example, I just want to give a shout out to the following people: Emily, Jackson, Rebecca, Mason, Kyrie, Jaden, Aza, Anthony, and Ahana. And not only for sight reading, but if you've made a comment on another activity as well, just thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It really helps me know what you guys want to work on, and it presents a really fun challenge for me to incorporate your ideas. So here are our suggestions. We're going to take the suggestion of a booty shake, and it's going to have to be a slow booty shake if we do it with a whole note, okay? So to do it slowly and in a sustainable way, think about your tailbone. Everybody's got a tailbone. And you know how we've clapped our whole notes like this? Imagine doing that same pattern with your tailbone, but sideways, okay? So I'm going to try it. Here I go right now. Yeah, it's kind of cool. I'm going to try it the other way. Here I go. Well, I don't know. It's kind of interesting. I feel like I need to take a step to make it work. I'm going to try taking a step and seeing if that helps. Here I go right now. The step helps a lot. All right, I'm going to recommend taking a step. Let's try it twice in a row. Here we go. Toe. Awesome. Okay. Now on our dotted half note, we're going to draw a circle and try to make it last 3 beats. Ta. I need to go a little faster. Here I go. Ta. So you want your finger to be all the way back around at the bottom by the time you get at the end of, or to the end of 3 beats. Then we have a knee tap for our quarter note. We're going to be tapping our knees a lot for the example, if we can remember. Some of us might have trouble. We're going to keep our half notes ta like this. We had a suggestion to snap on the 8th notes. So for TT, we'll snap. Just as an aside, I always recommend alternating or going back and forth between your hands rather than trying to snap TT or anything that goes by faster than that all at the same time. Then for our quarter rest, we're going to do a shoulder tap. Okay. All right. This is going to be interesting. So here's the example. Let's take a little bit of time to really look at it and kind of plan what we need to do before we start. How about like 20 seconds? 20 seconds. Go now. Okay, it's been about 20 seconds. Let's try it. Ready? Here we go right now. Toe, ta, ta, ti, ti, ta, ti, ti, ta, 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 ti, ti, ta, 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 ti, ti, ta, 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 ti, ti, ta, ta. Oh, I forgot the rest at the end. Oh well. Okay, we gotta keep going. So, next what we're gonna do with this is actually transfer it to an instrument. You might be thinking, well, I don't have an instrument. You do. Everyone's got some way of making sound, or at least keeping a beat, or you know, making a rhythm, at least thinking it even. So most of us have an instrument called our voice that we can use. If not your voice, you can clap or use some other kind of body percussion like stomp or, pat, something that we've done. Or if you have an instrument lying around the house, which I suspect many people do, or maybe at grandma or grandpa's house, like a piano, and several of you have told me you have guitars. I even know for sure that some of you have bass guitars, ukuleles. You know what? We're going to try to incorporate all of those into this next part of our activity. So in order to do that, we have to think about pitch. Pitch is something that, well, it's easy to think about and hopefully easy to hear, but it's not always the easiest thing. Some people struggle to hear the difference between high and low. So we're really going to focus on high and low first before we do anything. We're also going to use a system of understanding and talking about pitch that's called solfege. And if you have gone to Hanover County Public Schools before, you might have done hand signs to show different parts of a scale. The first note that we're going to learn is C. Okay? If you've played recorder, you've probably played a C, maybe a high C, or maybe a low C. Or hopefully both. Okay? All right, and so we're gonna say C is do, okay, and we're gonna be playing two different C's: a low C, so low do, and a high C, high do. Okay. Now we're gonna use the exact rhythm that we did for the very first part of our exercise. It's the same rhythm, so you've already done it. Okay, but we're gonna add our do. High and low. You'll be able to recognize the do by seeing that one of them is low on the staff, actually underneath the staff, and the other one is high up in the staff, okay? So low and high. So let's take a look at this exercise. If we turn it into a low and high one with C as do, okay? So take a look at it. See where it goes low and high. Can you see visually? If you see the pattern of low and high, that should help you know what to expect when you make the sound or do something physical. I would recommend, if you're not going to sing or play an instrument, that you pat low or stomp low for the low C and do something higher up for the high one. Okay, let's try this. That was interesting. Notice how I, for the long notes, I tried to show the pulse happening even though my breath was continuing, like you want to show the duration, okay? The length of the note. Let's try it with low and high again, but this time I'm going to make one hand low and one hand high and see what happens. And I'm singing. If you can't sing, you can just speak the rhythm, you can clap it, you can do it any way you want. That's going to show low and high. Let's try it again. Here we go. Do. Oops, it didn't start. Do, 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 How'd it go? So closing thoughts on this activity are, thank you again if you sent suggestions or if you made any other comments. And please send more. It's really fun to try to work out how we're going to incorporate them into the exercises. If you have instruments laying around, you probably do. You know, most of us have an instrument called our voice. We always have, almost always have, hands and feet or different parts of our body that we can use to make sound. So I count those as instruments. But if you saw an instrument that you maybe have lying around your house or a relative or friend's house, and you want to know more about how to play a low C and a high C, low do and high do on that instrument, please do let me know, because I'm happy to send that information to you and share it with you on Owl School. If you are a face-to-face student, you can email me, msmith@hcps.us, and we'll figure out a way to get you those videos. But I would love to know what instruments you have lying around and try to get you making music on them, okay? I'll talk to you soon.